Okay, as we think about the holidays
Yep.
coming up, and we recognize that the holidays are supposed to be a time of joy and peace and rest. And we get these ideas because it's the incarnation of the Christ who comes to bring peace and rest among the people.
Yep. Yeah. We're doing the Advent right now, going through the Advent.
But even through Advent, it doesn't always feel peaceful at home.
Definitely doesn't. Yeah.
It doesn't feel restful.
This might be the most hectic time of the entire year.
Yeah. And I think we are in a generation, an era right now, you and I and everyone listening, that feeling is getting worse. The peace of the holidays is no more. The rest of the holidays, the time to rejuvenate at the end of the year and be with family, that's gone. And it's been that way for quite some time. But I think we're at a place right now where it's about to get a lot worse than it's ever been.
Could be. Yeah.
And since consumerism began 100 years ago, it was always kind of spinning out of control. But I think we're hitting something right now that's going to cause it to spin uncontrollably. And I think we could identify at least a big factor in that today on the podcast.
Okay, cool.
It's funny because you've been out of the country a few times.
Yeah. The biggest one with you in Israel. That's furthest I've been, yeah.
And we just talked about this Cambodia trip that I took, several years ago.
Yeah.
It ironically came up, you and I, in a separate conversation for a different reason. But I remember something. I remember in Thailand, specifically, in the airport, being kind of shocked at the way people were scrolling on their phones.
Oh, really? How so?
I haven't seen it as much in this country. It's growing, but the kind of complete chaotic scrolling. And I was gonna show you a video because I took a video of a guy in an airport lounge that was laying on the couch, and he was facing away from me, so his phone was facing me.
So
I was at the table.
Yeah.
I specifically remember I was doing a seminary, doing seminary work, and looked up and couldn't believe what I was seeing. This guy was scrolling at a rate of like roll, 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 roll.
Wow.
For a long time.
So nothing caught it.
Like,
was he looking for
something to catch his eye? But I couldn't help but notice that nothing was catching his eye.
Not a thing. Wow.
And this idea of scrolling shorts is a pretty new concept. When did the scroll first start? 10 years ago?
I want to say that it started with Vine. I feel like Vine started everything because Vine was 15 seconds, I think, max, that you could record a video. It was like 15 seconds max. And then that's where it started becoming, and then Vine went away, or TikTok bought it, or it morphed into TikTok or something. TikTok had something to do with Vine leaving. They may have bought it and just killed it, but yeah, that's what happened.
All of this comes from originally, do you remember where this originally came from, this idea? It came from slot machines.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
The original idea of the swipe is the pull of the slot machine.
Okay.
Which is ironic because it's still today in casinos, there is absolutely no need for the lever.
No, it's the button.
It's the button.
Yeah.
But they still have the levers.
For the feeling.
For the feeling.
Yeah.
It's just the pull and they roll, and you pull and they roll, and you pull and you roll. You smoke your cigarettes and you drink your Diet Coke.
That's right.
And you sit there for hours. I was always astonished playing music in casinos, and we would finish a show at the casino and we would get packed up. It'd be 2:00 in the morning. We're, going back to the hotel room provided by the casino, and we walk to the elevator with our luggage, and there's, some old lady just hitting, just pulling that lever. Go back to my room, sleep for a couple hours, be back down in the lobby for an early morning lobby call to catch a flight. There's that same lady at 4:30, pulling that lever. That's the concept that the tech companies used to create, because there's something about that pull.
Did not realize that.
And
that makes sense, though.
So that's the swipe. That's what the swipe is. And that's why it's swipes on phones have a little, you pull them and they get to a place of resistance and then they pop, you know? Like when you're
refreshing.
Like you're when you check your mail and you pull down and it holds and then it kind of pops and then it spins and then a new email comes and it kicks
and
up
you never hit the jackpot. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, and you never hit the jackpot. So here's this study, and this is what I want to talk about. And I think there's a lot of ways we could talk about this, but it's holiday connected. A new study, Amber showed me this, and this is about kids, but this actual article is going to reveal that it's actually for everyone. Short-term video is linked to damaged attention, more anxiety, and it's affecting everybody. Researchers have just published the largest analysis ever on short-form video and health. 71 studies, 98,000 people, and they were trying to figure out if this stuff is actually harming us. And the findings were very clear. Here's the takeaways here. Number one, it is damaging our ability to focus. Once again, we're talking about short-form videos.
Yeah.
We're talking about TikTok, YouTube Shorts, videos on Facebook, videos on Instagram, whatever else. There's probably more that I'm not thinking of. But the strongest finding was cognitive. Short-form videos were linked to poor attention and worse self-control. The brain's inability, the brain develops an inability to stop the impulses and to stay on a task of any kind. The more you scroll, the harder it is to focus on anything that doesn't deliver instant stimulation. But the mental health findings are next. Number two, it's linked. I don't have to remind anybody, this is linked to stress and anxiety.
Okay.
Short-form video is associated with higher stress, higher anxiety, more depression. The endless scroll, you never find the end of it. The pulling of the slot machine, that the algorithm is pushing. So when you do the endless scroll, the algorithm is deciding what's coming up next.
Right. Right.
It's not random. It's very specific. And it's pushing typically emotional content for you of some kind.
Right. It wants some emotional reaction from you.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this kind of constant stimulation is actually not relaxing. It's actually disguising itself as relaxing, but it's really just entertainment. So you need this emotional entertainment. And I don't know if you've heard people say this, but they're like, man, I just want to relax.
Yeah.
I just want to chill out for a little bit.
Don't want to think.
And just scroll.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's false relaxation. It's not relaxing at all. It's stressing you out.
I should have, knew when we were talking about this, I would have put this guy's name to memory, or at least in my notes. I'm going to drop another podcast name here, but Sean Ryan. You ever watch Sean Ryan's podcast? He had a guy.
A friend of mine from our church is possibly producing a movie.
Oh, no way.
Of Sean Ryan's story. Yeah.
Of his, because he was a Navy SEAL, right?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I want to hear about that. I was watching his podcast with a guy who knows why stuff, like part of the programming behind the scenes on that. And I started looking for some of the things that he brought up. And one of them was that it will push something that is you'll see the emotional post with soft music playing and the dog being adopted from the kennel, and that'll catch your attention because it's something like that. A post that's something like that is emotional like that and kind of draws at your heartstrings. The next swipe is about 90% an ad, and it sets it up that way on purpose.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. That you'll go along, girl putting on makeup, you'll get, wife complaining about her husband, or a guy playing a prank on his wife, emotional dog video, ad.
Wow.
It
makes perfect sense.
It knows what it's doing to you and what it's set up to do, and it's to put you in an emotional, vulnerable state.
All this stuff we're talking about, they're actually preying on you.
Yes. Yeah. They want you in an emotional state, and now here's something to buy, and you're more vulnerable to click. Absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah.
Number 3 on here, age doesn't protect you. This is not just for teens.
Yeah,
It's not for kids. We've done a podcast before about kids and screens. Yeah. Researchers expected that teens would be more vulnerable because their brains are still developing. They weren't. Age actually made no difference. Adults showed the same pattern as teens, the same attention problems, the same anxiety links. This is not a brain issue. It's actually, or a young brain issue. It's actually a human brain issue, it says. No one's immune. Number 4, it rewires how we experience the world. Short form video trains the brain to expect constant novelty and instant reward. I thought that was interesting. Expect constant novelty and instant reward.
That even sounds dangerous, to have constant novelty.
Yeah.
That means novelty, meaning that it's not something that is normal, not something that is comfortable, something that is new to you all the time, always. Something I wonder about, and I wonder if they've included this in any of their studies, may not have gone on long enough for them to be able to tell this part. I wonder what kind of damage this is doing to our short-term memory. You're never being able to write to that and hold for any length of time because it's got it, gone, got it, gone, got it, gone. And now you wonder why you can't remember what you walked into the other room for. Oh, because I got it and I'm gone.
Yeah. There has to be a link.
I got up and walked in there to get the what?
There's a bit of that. We're gonna hit a bit of that coming up. But yeah, I feel the same way. That constant novelty and instant reward, that is something that is so unique to this generation. Every other generation of humans did not have constant novelty.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe making an argument of some kind of like Roman theater or, the gladiator games or bringing in the tigers and the novelty animals that they had never seen before to shock
But that was
people.
an event.
But it was an event
that you probably, for most people, took a day to get to.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So there was nothing instant about it.
Yeah.
There was no instant reward. It was a planned reward.
Effort.
So the brain gets desensitized to slower activities, which is scary because then reading feels boring, conversation feels slow, daily tasks seem impossible. Stuff for kids like homework.
Yeah.
For us, reading an instruction manual, to put together IKEA furniture, becomes impossible. It's like, what? I don't get it. Meanwhile,
because you got to go step by step.
Yes. Yeah. But it also, the brain becomes sensitized to seek more stimulation. So when you have this feeling of, I'm trying to put together this IKEA furniture and these instructions don't make any sense, I can't do it. Let me go scroll for a little bit. Let me get back that constant novelty again. Okay, now I'm feeling better about putting together IKEA furniture, which is a false feeling.
Yeah.
But what you want to do when you focused for too long is try to seek the instant gratification again.
Yeah.
By scrolling. So our inability to focus, our irritability, our anxiety, all of these things that our mental health and we are so connected in America to so many people that are having panic attacks and stress through the roof and anxiety and social problems, loneliness, and we keep wondering, like, what is it? Don't we have everything we need in this generation? Well, this is all linked together. But the article, it says, here's the good news: the brain can actually recover. These changes are not permanent. So back to your short-term memory comment.
Yeah.
It's in a way, I guess. I've often thought about this. I guess it's like the smoker's lung. When a smoker has the lung that's just black. Yeah. But when they stop smoking, it starts to recover. It cleans.
Starts repairing itself.
Starts repairing itself. And so in a lot of ways, this is really good news.
Yeah.
I think for me, I'll be honest, I I don't feel like I have a problem like the guy in Cambodia did.
Who never stopped scrolling.
Who never stopped scrolling. I'm not like that. I'm not really prone to do that. But it is a wake-up call to me not to fall into it and to be careful with, and here's what I mean. I used this illustration earlier before we started recording with you. Say you're going camping and you're looking between 3 different backpacks to buy.
Sure.
You're like, what, should I get the REI one or the North Face one or the Oakley one? I don't know.
And you've searched REI.
Yes. Yeah. So you go to YouTube, and here's a guy on a YouTube short talking for 30 seconds or a minute about the REI backpack.
Yeah.
Cool. I'll watch it. I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Yeah.
So in that sense, YouTube shorts are not evil. But what you can't do is scroll up from that. And the next one is a guy walking his dog, throwing a stick. And the next one's a funny skit of, 2 guys imitating something. And then the next one is a guy, mowing his yard and telling you what mower to buy. And the next,
And the next one, a dog being adopted.
Yeah.
So because you're getting an ad for that REI backpack in a bit. Yeah.
So I think the charge really for this podcast is this holiday season, don't swipe up.
Yeah.
You could go search for your video that you want to see. But don't swipe up from that, because that's not you deciding what you're going to see next. Right. That's the algorithm telling you. And it's actually damaging your brain.
Somebody else is deciding that, or something else is deciding what you're seeing next. And that does seem like you are taking a break with your brain sometimes, or that's at least the hope. But I told you before we started today too, is that I felt over Thanksgiving, like I had this sense of, I have a problem not being productive. Yeah. I have a problem unplugging and going, I'm not really going to do anything today and just hang out. And I have a problem with that. I ended up starting to build an app for sports. And it's like, because I could feel productive doing this today, but it didn't take all my attention.
Yeah.
And that is an issue. And I think it probably stems from just part of it is my job I wouldn't have social media, I don't think, on my phone at all if it wasn't part of what we have to do. But I love that you've taken it off and put it on an iPad, that you have to you're purposeful when you go to be interactive on social media now versus it being passive.
So how long has it been since I took social media off my phone?
It's been a couple months now, hasn't it?
Yeah.
At least 2, maybe 3.
At least 2, maybe 3. Yeah. I don't miss it.
Yeah. And the videos you get now are typically ones I've sent you going, hey, what if we react to this video? Yeah. And that's what you're getting the majority of.
And I do, Amber will send me a video and forget. Buddies from college will send a video and forget. Yeah. But I can't watch Instagram and Facebook, but you can watch X.
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't have to have the app.
What about TikTok?
You can't. I think they just stopped it.
Okay. So you have to have TikTok to be able to watch it.
You have to have TikTok. But on X, I could watch the video, but that's all I get. It's just the one.
You don't get fed.
I don't get fed anything. You can't scroll or anything.
Interesting.
So I haven't missed it. It's on my iPad, which is actually sitting right here.
Are you watching something right now while I'm talking?
And so if I need to post something or if I need to check something, it's right here.
Yeah.
Or like if you say, hey, we're going to react to these videos on Wednesday, let's go through these. I'll pull out my iPad and do it. I've been posting from my daily Bible reading. This has been, seems like many years I've been doing that.
Yeah, for sure.
I use Buffer now.
Yeah, and just load it up.
Buffer sends it out. It's logged into all my socials. It sends it out through that. So I create it on Buffer. Mm-hmm. That's on my phone.
Not an ad.
Yeah. You can use anything. I don't care about Buffer, but that's just the one I use. It's on my phone, so it sends it out. I was out of the country a few weeks ago, didn't have my iPad, so it was like a 10-day stretch.
That's cool.
I never saw anything, but I was still using Buffer. Like it was Amber's birthday, so I preloaded that on Buffer. A post just to say, "Hey, happy birthday to my wife."
Yep.
And just scheduled it to launch
on her birthday.
Yeah,
that's great. Yeah. Then you can still be interactive, still have a presence on social media.
Yeah.
But you don't have to be doom scrolling either.
Yeah. Tyler has gone so far as to, he does that with email. He took email off his phone.
No, that's why he didn't answer
driving
me.
me crazy.
No, driving you crazy?
No, he said he was driving
him crazy. Got it.
So he walked in here one day. You might have been here, but he walked in here with his laptop under his arm.
That's right.
Like, what are you doing with your laptop? This is my email.
Because he doesn't put it on his phone. That's really good. That's
Yeah.
really good that
So
he's gotten away
he
from
takes
that.
it in his truck, and if he needs to go and mess with his email or work to the coffee shop, whatever, takes his laptop.
Yeah. Answer emails on that.
Yeah.
And know that it's not going to be dinging on your phone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, when I first started this podcast, it seemed pretty far-fetched to set up scripts and filming schedule and logos and the music that goes in between. It was super overwhelming, and every day seemed like I had to introduce a new decision that needed a new answer, right? Well, when you're starting off anything new, it seems like your to-do list keeps on growing every single day with new tasks, and that could easily begin to overrun your life. But you know, finding the right tool that not only helps you out but simplifies everything could be such a game changer. And for millions of businesses, that tool is Shopify. Shopify is the commerce platform behind millions of businesses around the world and 10% of all e-commerce in the U.S., from household names like Yee Apparel and, of course, many others. You can get started with your own design studio with hundreds of ready-to-use templates. Shopify helps you build a beautiful online store to match your brand style. You can accelerate your content creation. Shopify is packed with helpful AI tools that write product descriptions and page headlines and even enhance your product photography. You can get the word out like you have some marketing team behind you. Easily create email and social media campaigns wherever your customers are scrolling or strolling. And best yet, Shopify is your e-commerce and commerce expert with world-class expertise in everything from managing inventory to international shipping to processing returns and all that complicated stuff that you don't have to worry about. If you're ready to sell, you're ready for Shopify. Turn your big business idea into with Shopify on your side. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period and start selling today at shopify.com/Granger. Go to shopify.com/Granger, shopify.com/Granger. If you're trying to get a gift for someone that you think has everything, how about a special video message from me? It's easy to do. Go to cameo.com/GrangerSmith and you put in the prompt what you want me to say. I get that message on my phone. I'll say happy birthday, happy anniversary, whatever personalized message you want me to say to whoever you want me to say it to. I send it to you and you give it to them. It's pretty cool. Go to cameo.com/GrangerSmith.
Yeah, everyone's. Yeah. You know, talking about all this made me think.
Yeah.
That the first thing that I thought of was Philippians 4:6, and I'll read just before that at 4. Always be joyful in the Lord. I say it again, rejoice. Let everyone see that you are considerate in all you do. Remember, the Lord is coming soon. Don't worry about anything. Talking about being anxious. Instead, pray about everything. Tell God what you need and thank Him for all that He has done. And then, so you do all that, and then you will experience God's peace. Peace is what we're all looking for, especially this time of year too, which exceeds anything that we can understand. His peace will guard your hearts and minds as you live in Christ.
Yeah, peace that surpasses all understanding.
All understanding. Guarding
your hearts in Christ Jesus. That is, I think about with that, John 14:27. Jesus says, peace I leave with you, my peace I give to you. Not as the world gives do I give to you, he says. I don't give that peace that the world gives.
Right.
You seek peace by sitting on the couch scrolling. That's where you want to find rest and peace. That's not how I give it. That's right. How you're defining it.
Yep.
That's not how I give it. And that same peace, which Paul talks about in Philippians 4, is a peace that guards you. Mm-hmm. That's an interesting thought. Mm-hmm. A peace that guards you.
Yeah.
Think of what it guards your heart and mind.
Stands in front of you and the enemy.
Yeah. How do you understand that peace? Well, this is a peace that surpasses all understanding.
Yeah.
But it's a peace that you know and you feel. And so.
And can't explain.
Yeah. But it's a real peace that exists through the suffering, through the chaos of the world. So Jesus says that we will have the same tribulation. We'll still have the same trouble.
Yeah.
But he says, take heart, I've overcome the world. In the world, you'll have the trouble. That's a guarantee. So the peace has to exist in the trouble. And that's a piece that it's hard to understand.
That's why the world doesn't. Yeah. Yeah.
There's the old story of John Wesley, the British preacher that ended up starting the entire Methodist movement. Mm-hmm. But he was a pastor before he was converted.
Yeah.
Of course, he didn't know that. He didn't know that at the time. But there's just this fascinating story of him as he was on a boat. Once again, he was a pastor. He came from England to Savannah, Georgia, to pastor a church there.
Yeah.
It got really bad. The short story is he fell in love with a girl. He was a pastor, fell in love with a girl who didn't love him back. She ended up marrying another guy in the church, and he refused the guy communion.
Wow.
So they kicked him out.
Yeah.
They said, you're not a good pastor. Get out of here.
Yeah.
Okay. And so that ended that stint. He goes back to England, just angry and mad and confused and hurt. And he had grown up just very legalistic, very prideful. He was friends with guys like George Whitefield that they were a team of rule followers, you know. So then all this, not everything's falling apart. He can't understand it. He's like, I'm following all the rules, God. What more do you want? Like, I'm so smart. I've all this education. All my friends, me and all my friends, we pray all day long, and we fast and we tithe and we do all the things, you know. It's very similar to the story with the Pharisee and the tax collector, where the Pharisee says, I'm so good. Like, I'm not like this tax collector, you know. And the tax collector says, have mercy on me, God, a sinner. Mm-hmm. And Jesus says, that's the one justified.
Yeah.
This is John Wesley.
Yeah.
He's on the boat in the Atlantic Ocean, and a great storm arises on one of these crazy Atlantic storms. It's just tearing the boat apart. And the English on the boat are all freaking out, John Wesley included. But there's these Germans, the Moravians, which I don't know if you've driven just down here, but there's the Moravian Hall.
No,
this is an old German community here.
Oh yeah, sure. I didn't know there was
Texas.
a Moravian Hall though.
Sometimes I see it, and it's like the sign's falling apart. It's old.
Yeah,
but that was founded by the Moravians. So these are these people, right? They, lack of a better term, they're like a denomination.
Okay,
German Christians.
Yeah,
and very faithful, very zealous, and they're on the boat, and Wesley noticed that they're not freaking out. Mm-hmm. He goes up and he says, I'm paraphrasing here, are you not afraid of the storm? And they were singing. That's what happened. They were singing. They were singing hymns.
Yeah.
And, you imagine Wesley and the English are just the rain and the thunder and boards cracking and the hull is cracking. And through all this chaos, you hear this singing of hymns. He goes up to him, he says, are you not afraid of the storm? And the Moravian pastor says, no, we're not afraid to die. All this is written in Wesley's journal I have in here. No, we're not afraid to die. He goes, but your women and children, how are they doing? Our women and children are not afraid either. And Wesley is just struck by this. How in the world could these people? Of course, we're all Christians here, but this is a really bad storm,
Right.
And the Moravian says, Do you know that you're a child of God? Has the Spirit himself bore witness with your spirit that you're a child of God? And Wesley says, yeah, I hope so. And he says, but do you know that Jesus died for you? And he says, I sure hope that Jesus died for me. He goes, do you know? And that's all that Wesley writes in the journal. That's kind of the extent of it. But I think his point was not the storm. It was his realization that it was a personal relationship with Christ was the difference between him and that Moravian pastor.
Yeah.
And that was the difference between the storm and the singing of the hymns. And that was the difference of me falling in the ocean and me saying, Lord, take me.
Yeah.
It was a personal relationship with Christ, knowing that he died on the cross for you, not for the sins of the world, for you. Do you know that he died for you? Every one of us have to reconcile that question. Yeah, I know he died. Wesley said, I know he died for the sins of the world. True, he says. But do you know he died for you? That's what we must reconcile.
Yeah.
And that is the peace that surpasses all understanding, Philippians 4, and the peace that Jesus talks about in John 14 comes from that. The anxiety is washed away from that.
Yeah.
That doesn't, you can't have that when you're death scrolling.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
When you're seeking that constant novelty and the instant gratification, it can't exist there. It can't.
Well, the title of this was Avoid This to Have a Merry Christmas. Avoid that scroll, that doom scroll.
I think that's what I would say. Would you say that too?
Yeah.
Would you just tell people that?
Yeah, absolutely.
This holiday season, as you find yourself on your phone trying to avoid your Uncle Frank, the crazy Uncle Frank, don't scroll endlessly.
Yep. Yeah, it can help for sure.
Yeah. Read a book. Watch a movie.
There's plenty that you haven't watched yet this Christmas. So,
yeah. Okay. I guess we'll wrap there.
Sounds good.
Yeah. See you guys. Yee.
Thank you so much for hanging out with me on this episode of the Granger Smith Podcast. I appreciate you being here. If you're listening right now, go ahead and rate today's podcast. It helps more folks find the show. And if you're tuning in on the iHeartRadio app, you could actually set this podcast as one of your presets, which is cool. That way, I'm just one tap away. If you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to hit like and subscribe so you don't miss any new episodes. And if you got a question you want answered right here on the show, just email me, podcast@grangersmith.com. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks again for being here. We'll see you next time. Yee yee.